Right, well, hello viewers, and welcome back to Endless Legend. So, I've started off the Let's Play where the save file immediately after we've ended the first time, and it would seem as though these guys over here, I distinctly remember the orange people over here playing as the Dark Lord faction, or something in the similar vein. What are these people called? The Broken Lords. They don't seem to want to attack us anymore. In that case, I think we will just sort of stride by them, and we'll really just see what is up inside this area, and really just sort of slip around and see how it goes, really. So, continuing off where we had left off, I noticed that the sound effects are a little bit too much, so I think I'll actually scale back these just a tiny bit, just to sort of help things out, and it looks like that will be a good setting for us to play on. And really, we'll just continue from here. So, it looks like there is quite a large army moving about the map over here. Our Marines are starting to get healed back up, so that is very, very good. And I am just going to sort of scurry about our lands and explore some more. So, we found another strategical resource, and it looks like this area is also a titanium deposit, so it'll provide us with a little bit more of health. And it looks like this area will be actually really good for farming, but I'm rather interested in capping up that little ruins area, so I think we'll make our way over there. So we'll do that, and we'll also get research going on. So we've now finished Mill Foundry, and search part, where I believe we researched Mill Foundry and Dawn Officers. We finished off those, and that'll give us a fair amount of new things to use. So let's see what else we have to use for our disposal here. So now, it looks like we're going to need 4 more techs to advance to the second age here. And inside the first age, we have an option of advancing a whole bunch of different stuff here. Evidently, it looks like we can do some stuff to improve our defense inside the military tree here. In the area of science and production and industry, we have some stuff to increase our tech once again, and I think that is pretty much it over here. In the form of economy, we have some stuff required to we can do this prisoner, slaves, and volunteers task, which will allow us to buy buildings at a cheaper cost. And we've already bought a few buildings, so maybe we'll get that one. We can also get this dust dredger tech, which will give us a lot more money from river tiles, which would be really, really rather interesting. And what else do we have here? We have siege storage, which get us a bit of money or a bit of food. Advanced figurine, which will allow us to unlock items from the first tech tree out of titanium or glass steel. Sewer system, which will give us an approval rating, which will be really rather happy, and an influence rating. And language square over here, which will allow us to get army actions, which is kind of cool. But I think, yeah, and these two techs, advanced armor and advanced alloys, will give us different weapons. And, I believe, yeah, and this one, Center for Seas and Rivers will give us tech bonuses, and Alchemist's Furnace will allow us to get a little bit more resources. You know what? I think from here, I'll do Dust Dredger first, because that one will be something that we might have a little bit of use of, and namely, that will allow us to speed production on Miller buildings, so I think I'll do that right away. With our troop of infantry or marines, I'll just really send these guys around, and I want them to cap more of these resource zones, because they're just so efficient at that. So we'll get them to run about and get them to do that, and we'll get them to just really search these zones and see what they can find here. Ooh, so it looks like they found a new zone here, a new quest here for us, and it looks like it's mainly to found a settlement in 15 turns, and it'll give us a luxury resource called Quicksilver, which will, well, let's see, although the exact mechanism is still pretty unstored, weapons and armors forged of small silver units of Quicksilver will have some capacity to learn from battle experiences, so it'll be rather useful if we found a town right now, and I think we'll do that in a little bit. But yeah, this game is just really rather interesting in how it presents these different elements. So I think we'll continue, and we'll just continue walking about here and checking out the different things. I think it's a good time to build one of these borough streets so that our city expands a little bit more, and I'm just gonna creep towards this patch of mineral-rich areas for that production benefit, as I'd imagine that will help us out quite a bit with our town, and I'm just gonna fast forward the research or the building of our public library because we are just rolling in money right now. So yeah, I mean, this little 4X game so far seems to be pretty forgiving, and it's pretty fun just sort of walking about and checking out different zones. Oh, and it looks like we've noticed a new minor faction called the Irisis over here, and it looks like they are some sort of snake faction. They have these vine snakes. Again, heavy health, low defense, and it looks like if we pacify these guys, it'll give us a bonus on the amount of movement we have. So, I recall that quest name being fairly similar to those guys, so I'm going to check that right now. And it looks like if we assimilate these guys, it would definitely help us out. So maybe we'll just assimilate the snake people in a little bit, and we'll check out how we can do that in a little bit as well. So we'll end the turn right now. We'll get the army to move around, and since our research of the Dust Dredger is finished, I'll do the Alchemist's Furnace, because I have a feeling we'll be using that soon enough, and we'll just end the turn as such. So again, I mean, really interesting progress here. Our marine element is just absolutely scurrying about, checking out these different little buildings around the map, making it really rather interesting. You know what? I don't think I'll attack this village just yet, because last time we suffered a fair amount of losses. So I think I'll just scurry about here and just really check out the things here. We found a life tree over here, which is fairly interesting. This gives us a little bit of food, and it looks like a lot of content inside our villages. So maybe it'll be a good place to found our village over here inside this area. Again, making it something interesting. Oh, and perfect. Our hero here has leveled up to level 3, so we can actually expend 2 of those skill points. Anyhow, I think I'll expend them on alchemical, or no, let's spend them on... let's spend those points on Indiana Bones and Agile Move right here. So that'll give our army a bit more moving power, and it'll give us a better chance at exploring zones, which will make this army led by Petrov Judith a really good explorationary scout force, and I think we'll just let them go as it is. Anyhow, we'll just wander about here for a little bit more and check out the different lands. Namely, I want to check out if we attack these guys will be pacified, but it won't build any other bonuses until it's rebuilt. Now, I need to figure out how these villages are assimilated, because if we can assimilate these villages, the more the better. In the meantime, I think I'll wander about here a little bit more, and I'll just assemble at these ruins. It looks like we found some wetlands over here, some more of those exotics, and some of those titanium that were deposited, so that is rather interesting. It looks like the burrow is built, so that is also pretty good. Moving back outside the tech tree here, I think I'll do language square over here. Sewer system, prisoners and slaves, and then seed storage, and we'll do a chain of those events like that. So that'll give us a good amount of exploratory, expansionary, and economic text for us to use. In the meantime, I think I'll just get our armies to move about here and claim the different resources. This little vine snake is getting pretty close to our town. I'm a little worried about that. I think I'll recruit one of these Dawn officers and I'll hurry the production of them up, just because I'm a little afraid of this thing attacking our town. But in the meantime, I'll get our army to explore these rooms a little bit more, and I'll search them. They'll probably unlock some more quests or some more dust, and I'll get the army to make their way back now, because we've already explored a good portion of the map to the north of us. So, yeah, I mean, the game goes on like this, built another little burrow, and these towns will actually expand on the map, making it just absolutely wonderfully beautiful, really rather nice, and, you know, I just love the progress of this game in general here. And looks like as the time sort of goes on, we're building up a decent portion of influence from our towns too, so that is also pretty damn handy. Is the turn over yet? Yeah, it looks like it is. Or no, maybe that's not. RC units are still frozen here, so I think I'll click this button again. And it looks like a new empire has been, oh, Empire Plan Edition. We can choose a different planet for Empire depending on our influence points. I haven't seen this screen before, so that is rather interesting, but I mean, it looks like we can't exactly... we can choose one for now. So we have an option between military, science and industry, empire and expansion, and economy and population. Although it doesn't look like we can put any points into that right away, so I think I'll wait on that for a little bit of time. And I'll just end the turn, see what the AI does and see how it moves, and I'll try to move our units back into our zones, I suppose. So it looks like that Dawn Officer was produced and it's currently inside the garrison, which is really nice. Coming from here, we do also have that goal of building that settler unit. So here's what I think I'll do. I'll build 2 marine units, and in that settler unit, and because we have that little building, the mill foundry, it looks like that has increased our production of goods very far now. It looks like we can just build these marine units in 3 turns as opposed to I think the 9 originally. So that'll be really rather helpful. And we will just really continue living inside Thanelid right now, and really just continue life over here. It looks like there's another enemy faction to the north here, this red faction over here, so it'll be interesting to see what they will do as well. Now, in the meantime, I really want to get rid of this vine snake just sort of wandering around here, so I think that'll be one of our priorities. But at the same time, I think we'll need to regroup our troops, so I think I'll just put everybody on top of our city top for now, and wait a few turns for now. So get the research to continue, and it's going to research out some expansionary and economic policies, which will be handy for us in the later series of events. And currently, we're just going to try to stock up our army with troops and get our guys rolling here. So, it looks like that Vine Snake has wandered away, so I think we'll get our army to go back out on the warpath again. And, I'll try to get these troops to merge up with my force over here. Oh, I see, this troop can only have 4 units, so I think, yeah, we'll just get the 4 marine units over here. Or, 3 marine units with Sharp Sense 1. Let me see if I can show you guys what this Sharp Sense actually does. It doesn't look like it can, unfortunately. But we also have to Dawn Officers, so we have quite a little bit of an army here, and I think we'll get these guys to attack that little village right here. Oh, I see. We can also, looks like because we researched one of the texts over here, if I go into the menu here, it looks like because we researched, what is it? It looks like because we've researched language square, we have the option to parley or bribe these settlements as opposed to just straight up destroying them now. So let's see what these do. We can bribe them, it'll be pacified immediately at a cost, and it looks like I've just sort of done that already, so that's kind of neat. In addition to that, it looks like we also have a few different options with them, which is rather cool. So it looks like we've bribed them already, so we've assimilated them. Where we've pacified them. Now we can use some of our influence points to influence them, give us that minor faction bonus, and of course that vine stake unit. So I think I will. And this will end this quest, which is nice, and it'll pretty much just convert this village into our settlement, and it'll give us a new quest. So it looks like this quest will just pretty much ask us to build 2 strategic resource extractors, which so happens to coincide with our other quest of building 2 extractors, which is really rather nice. So, that is a nice little bonus, and that will allow us to build the vine snakes inside our capital city, seeing as that was the only city that we have right now. And it looks like these guys are kind of expensive. No, not really. They're slightly more expensive than our marines. They take the same amount of turns to build. They have low defense and low, and I would say decently comparable criticals, but it looks like they have low initiative but high attack and high health compared to our marines, so it'll be interesting to see those guys out on the field. Anyhow, continuing over here, I think we'll just end turn number 24, skip on to number 25, and that'll be one other place that we have settled down, so that'll be rather interesting as well. Going from here, let's see what we can do. So we still have 1 hero, And these heroes will just sort of lead our armies here. I'm gonna see whether or not we can get another army over here somehow, because I believe you can buy these heroes in a sense. Let's see how the diplomacy works here. So our faction is represented by this middle section here, and how the diplomacy is represented by inside this game is that it sort of functions as these rings. So the inner one is alliance, the second one is peace here, the third one is Cold War, and the second one and the outermost one is war. So it looks like these orange guys, those lords people, have declared war on us, the broken lords here, AI number 2. And yeah, they are out inside the outer circle here, over here, so that's rather interesting. So I think we'll get our army, and I think we'll get our army to fight them and their 2 units, and let's see whether or not we can deal them a military blow just to sort of stop their troops right now. So yeah, it looks like their army is also led by a capital unit, rather hero unit here. Their troops are here, and they're mainly melee units. So we'll get our guys to ready up, and we'll pretty much lay barrage upon barrage into these guys to try to take them down. So we have 4 units here. We have our cavalry dudes, which apparently aren't actually cavalry dudes, but they have a charge ability. But they do a fair amount of damage. They have 44 life, which is probably more so than any of our guys right now. And we have a whole bunch of these marine guys, and I want to pelt their hero down. So I'll get all of our guys to target them. And like I said before, we can assign general strategy to our guy, but we can't go in depth on it. And I just want them to blitz down, say, individual units first, and afterwards I want them to just sort of focus on minor units. So our guys are going to do a little bit of damage to these guys, not too much. They're going to take quite a bit of losses because it is a hero unit after all. And oh, it looks like that guy faded away, so that's kind of cool. In that case, it looks like our guys will target some of the other units, and because these guys have low defense, it looks like our guys are going to do quite a bit more damage to them than we had seen last time, so that's rather cool. Maybe their hero unit faded out because of some special ability they have. I'm going to check that out in a little bit. And it looks like our guys are just going to massacre them because our guys are pretty damn successful in the brawl combat here. Oh, they're going to attack our marines. Once they get into close combat, our marines unfortunately aren't as successful. And it looks like that is pretty much going to be the end of their army. It looks like their hero was sort of bailed out, or maybe just sort of fled. So that's kind of neat. And that's going to destroy them. It looks like the enemy AI's hero went into critical health and has bailed out, so that is also another interesting little thing. So anyhow, that's going to stall up the Orange Factions' game here. It looks like we haven't found their capital town just yet, but it looks like they have quite a little bit of hills over here. In that case, I think I'll get my army to heal up because that Dawn Officer unit and that Marine unit has taken quite a bit of damage, and we will just sort of proceed with our town building up its military garrison, and later on I want to expand over here to the region of Anrak, and I want to cap that area off as well. So we'll see how that goes along here as well. Now, our guys are going to heal up. I'm going to bring my troopers down to the town so then they can heal up, and afterwards I think I'll get them to explore this area over here, which hasn't been explored just yet. So yeah, we'll construct some more of these units, and that'll be very, very nice because we will have units, we'll have use for them later on. And I think I'll get my army just to wander about over here, do some more of that scouting for us in a little bit, and our research is continuing as well. And it looks like we've reached the second age, so we've researched 10 technologies already. It looks like this will unlock iron tier 2 weapons and armor, so that'll be interesting. And our newly trained troops will be a little more expensive though, but they'll also have more experience. And of course it'll unlock the entire tech tree for us to use and a few more other things, so that'll be very neat to check out. Anyhow, I'm going to explore this rune. That's going to give me a few more coins to spend. And it looks like we found a new AI faction defending this town. Oh, no. These guys are the Sisters of Mercy again. And they just have a tiny little town out here. So that is also interesting. And on top over here, this little hut thing, I don't seem to be able to hover over and check. So I think we'll just go with such and we'll end the turn again. And that Hydra unit is back and slithering all the way around our little town here, so that is also kind of interesting as well. Now these are just neutral units, and I believe their primary purpose is just to sort of harass us here and there. But anyhow, I'll get our guys to bounce around here and explore this area. And it looks like now over here we have 6 points of movement speed, so maybe our troops had gained quite a little bit of veterancy and they've leveled up here, so that's also pretty interesting. Maybe from here, I want to upgrade my